All right, it's Reusse Unchained, brought to you by our friend Josh Arnold, an investment consultant, of course, Mr. Money Talk. All right, Patrick. So the Lions win. It was an ugly game, but it appears that they actually didn't get a key guy hurt. So we've got Vikings and Lions now on
Yes,
Sunday. Can you believe we're talking about a Vikings Lions game in this context too?
it is. It is. They have been our bet. They have been our patsy, and every. I think that every year they've been in the same division, right? I know that. I
Yeah.
know that the Lions, when they were redoing the in the mid '60s, when the merger was taking place, tried to get the Vikings out of their division because they saw that defense coming and they were
Mm.
very nervous about it, and they did not succeed. And I mean, the Lions fans, what they've been through all those years and all those, I'll I've been there for we've been there for a couple three Thanksgiving games. I was there for one Thanksgiving game. It was about 2 hours and 40 minutes. They got about 60 yards, I think they made, and the Vikings let us fly on the plane. I was back home at 5 in the afternoon eating turkey. It was unbelievable, and yeah, I guess we knew Campbell would not pull any punches. That's not the tough guy
Mm-mm.
image. I can't believe the one I can't believe is he's down to one running back and he still used Gibbs. Gibbs must have between catching passes and running. He had to have the ball 30 times, didn't he?
Oh
It
yeah.
was unbelievable. I didn't watch a lot of it, but every time I turned it on, Gibbs was doing something. But what they got out without getting any more guys on defense hurt. Do we know if they're getting any of their defensive guys back, or is this it? Is this because every decent team they've played in the last 6 weeks have just scored unbelievable numbers of points against them, right?
Yeah, and so on the telecast last night, they were talking about maybe getting a linebacker back, but the problem is their pass rush is just gone. It's decimated.
Yes. Yeah, all their obviously ever since the great guy. I mean that Aiden, what
Hutchinson.
O'Connell, Hutchinson
Yeah.
was unbelievable. He was relentless, and I mean one of the most gruesome injuries of the season. They might not have him next year. It was such a bad injury. But they'll you better be ready to play defense against them. They can score some
Yep.
points, man. And if you don't put big pressure on Goff, he's going to tear you up. So. It'll be fun. It'll be great. Don't you think the winner will be in the 30s for sure, don't you think?
Oh, yeah,
Likely, yes.
over under is going to be high for this one, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And what we opened as 2.5 point dogs or something like that.
Correct. That's what I
Now
saw
that
this
we
morning.
had a note today that said this is the first time they're underdogs since I don't know when, but I thought they were underdogs on Sunday, or did that change before the game
They
started?
they were dogs by game time, yeah. Like
The
a point dogs.
the
Oh, so they
Vikings
were.
were.
Okay.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Yep.
I knew they were like two during the week, and they're
Yeah.
just a point. But maybe I don't know what the official line was on that game. But it'll be fun, man. What time we kicking off? 7.
720?
7:20, yeah.
I thought I saw 6, but they're not going to give us that break, right? That was
No,
just
they. I think when NBC teased that, they meant their pregame coverage
okay.
Oh.
starts
All
at
that
so
crap.
like
So
they'll have an hour and a half
7:20.
of
So
crap. Yeah.
yeah, I mean you got the advantage of here. You got the advantage of you're playing great. You got the advantage of Detroit being banged up, and you got the advantage of Detroit playing on Monday night on the West Coast and having to
Correct.
fly home. You got all the advantages here,
Yeah.
and except being at home, that's not the advantage. But Detroit's lost two at home, right? They're 6-2 at home.
Yep. Undefeated on
So
the road this year.
yeah, they're under. I mean, and last time they were home, was it the last time they were home that Buffalo put up 40 some?
That
Was
might be right. I'm trying to
yeah.
think. So they've won a couple games since then,
48.
right?
I think Detroit got 48. I mean, Buffalo
Well,
got 48, right?
if the Vikings defense plays well, I mean
Yeah.
Detroit's in trouble because they can outscore you, but they're not going to stop you now.
No, if you would have to fumble a couple of times and do something. I mean,
Darnold would have to
it's
melt down.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't
Brock
think.
Purdy in the second half last night. I don't know what those picks were about, but my God, were those two terrible passes.
Yeah, he's probably feeling the nerves, huh? Because he wants to get a contract, right?
Yes.
And he can't be ready for a contract yet, though, can he?
This offseason, he can sign.
Why? What, did he sit for 2 years before they started playing him, or what?
No,
Or is this his third year
this is
playing?
his third year. Yeah.
Playing, and then he was, and so as a non-first rounder, he only got a 4 year
4.
contract originally. So he sat for a year, and then played for 3 years.
Hmm.
He would have to be very reasonable for me to sign him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be about 20. Who's going to give him more than 25? You look at him. Who do you? Where do you think he's going to take you without a great team? I
Right.
don't. I just don't see him getting a lot of money. But anyway, it's yeah, it's unbelievable. We talked about it all day yesterday. This team being 14-2 is just mind blowing, to say the least.
So, and on your list of top 10 surprises,
I'm in
have
here. I'm in here penning it right
have you
now.
updated the list? Because we talked about this on Unchained
Yeah,
on
I'm
Monday.
still scratching. I'm still going on. But I did point out there that I have consulted the wisest and most objective panel you can find, me.
Well, you
So,
are the historian at this point.
yes, I am. I am.
You
I
get
mean, I
that.
was, and 60. We got to go back to 60. We're going back to 60 because
Right.
anything
Okay.
before that doesn't count.
Right.
But as I told you yesterday, 60. We got the Lakers leaving. The announcement that the Twins and the Vikings are coming, and that's the watershed year of Minnesota sports. There's no doubt about it. And also, the Gophers went to the Rose Bowl that year, which hasn't happened with regularity since then, right? They
No, it
were
No.
they
has.
went again the next year because Ohio State's faculty senate faculty senate hated Woody Hayes and wouldn't let him go, and then we haven't quite made it back since. So, how
But
about did you read, by the way, Randy Johnson's piece today on Virginia Tech? They got
No, I'm not. But
they got like 17 players missing, three assistant coaches
what?
missing.
Why are we doing
It's
this?
I don't know,
Just call it
but
off.
we're gonna just it's gonna be we won the whatever Duke's Mayo bowl season.
Yep.
We're gonna take great credit for this glorious victory over a guy that they made fire three of his assistant coaches to keep his job. He's from Virginia Tech, and
Just stay home.
yes, it's
Everybody, just stay home. Enjoy.
yeah, right.
You know what? Don't bother. Send PJ some Duke's Mayo.
Mayo,
Douse
yes.
him in his front yard in Edina, and let's be done with it.
Yeah, but as the Gopher fans who got mad at me about making fun of the Bowling Green game say, uh, any chance to watch our Gophers play one more game is all that matters. So, all right. Yeah,
well,
that's
hey,
what you
they're
want to
and
do.
forget recruiting classes, Pat, because they're killing the transfer portal. The transfer portal is where we're making all of our hay here. If
Yeah,
you're a
because
Gopher
they don't
football
like
fan.
they don't want to mention that they're rated 55th in high school recruiting. So, ahead of one Big Ten team, or maybe two, Purdue for sure. Purdue's like 120th.
They're
I was
falling on
looking
tough
it up the
times.
other day. They
The
are
school of
falling
Drew
on top.
Brees has fallen on very difficult
Jack
times.
Jack Mollenkopf is rolling over in his grave. It's for sure. Murray's old rival. Those were some great games. Murray and Jack Mollenkopf. Get ready for third down punts with those two guys. It was unbelievable.
Serious question. Why are we still fixated for the majority of schools on high school commits when the portal is the key thing now? Like we're still
Yes,
acting like these guys are they're all gonna stick around. No, they're
but
not.
everybody you see that they've got into the portal, the Gophers, wasn't playing at the place he was at. Right? They got one 4-star,
They
I
were
think,
misused, Pat.
but they didn't play him for 2 years.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we're killing it with the portal. Now they got lucky with Brasmer, I'll say that. And you know, can't we figure out a way to get him another year of eligibility?
That's what I
I
said.
mean,
Sue.
Vanderbilt just got 2 more years out of the fat little guy that Kill brought with him. from New Mexico State.
Yep.
Didn't Brosmer visit a junior college sometime that we can get him
I would
another
have
year?
sued.
Boy, that's the most undercovered story going on right now. Is this junior college? Is if junior college is not going to count in your college eligibility for 4-year schools, it's unbelievable. Who was the? Were you the one that told me that this? Somebody was telling me this kid was crying after the game
Yeah,
for some
Miami.
school, Miami, because he was completing his 9th year of
Yep.
college eligibility.
Yep.
Ninth? How did he
It's
get
Animal
9?
House, Pat. It's
Yeah,
Animal House in college
it
football.
is. It is. He's got a year more than Uncle Parker. Uncle Parker's got 8 years, and he's got
Uncle
9.
Parker's my age.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like 52.
Uncle Parker's also one of our best players. So, but hey, I was happy to see we found rays of optimism in the noble victory over Morgan State. So we're ready for the Big Ten to go here. So
Oh, good God. Good. You know what? I feel bad for them.
I do too.
I've got no contempt because I just feel bad for him. I feel
I
bad
do
for Ben.
too.
He lost his entire, he lost basically his entire team.
Entire team, yeah, except for Garcia and
Yeah.
and Mike Mitchell Jr. He was smart to come back. He could shoot 25 times. Nobody cares. He was like your third guard last year. Now throw it up, Mike. We don't give a damn. He's been there about 6 years too, hasn't he? I don't know.
I
It's
can't keep track anymore.
it
I don't
is
know half the team.
it is college sports. I've always thought it was a complete fiasco for who gets eligible and who's not. Boy, when you look back to the Pulitzer Prize won by the St. Paul paper for Jan Gangelhoff writing papers on the menstrual cramps for or menstrual cycle for the basketball players. It looks pretty minor now, doesn't it?
Why were the players also in that class is my question. The more I thought about it,
Well,
did
they
they
were
really
looking
need to
for
know
an
about
A.
that?
Yeah, they wanted an A. They wanted an A, and I don't even know what it was, but it was, you know. And the funny thing was, by '99, I was looking at it like '99. The internet was just starting,
Yes.
and you could go on the internet and order an A paper, a B paper, or a C paper. If you, if you were a dummy, you didn't want to fool the professor by getting an A paper, but you could get a B paper, And boy, you really worked hard on this one, Steve, or something. So
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, I don't I did college. I think it's kind of fun though that college sports have now proven to be the hypocritical,
Oh, yeah.
backstabbing jackasses we always knew they were. How about Jim Mora Jr. going off, ripping everybody for stealing UConn's players?
He's
Yeah,
fallen so far that he's
yeah, but
now threatening
he
people
said
that come to UConn to take
yeah,
his.
but he had a good year this year. They just beat North Carolina, conqueror of PJ, in some bowl game. I don't know what it was. Now I don't know. With Mac Brown being fired, North Carolina might have had a half its
It
team.
was
Who
the one in
knows?
Fenway Park.
Oh, is that right?
That's where they played that bowl game. Yeah, Fenway Park.
Oh, UConn probably got 8,000 people there or something. Then, unbelievable. Anyway, I think that most of Minnesota is looking more forward to the Viking game Sunday than Duke's Mayo Bowl. When is Duke's game, by the way?
This week,
Saturday?
this weekend, right? I think
It's this is
I'm gonna
the
avoid it at all
this is the
costs.
31st and it's the third, so Wednesday, I guess. Then. Oh no, wait. What is today? Tuesday? No,
Today's
Friday. Must be Friday.
okay.
Must be Friday, the third. What are you boys going to get in trouble on New Year's Eve? Declan, you're
No,
still young enough to party, aren't you?
I am, but I even like in my earlier 20s, and I'm 32 now, Pat. Like New Year's Eve, I got phased out of that pretty quick. Like the whole, you got to figure out where you're gonna be, and even though the Uber, and I grew up in the 20s with the Uber and Lyft, and that was easier to get a cab. The surcharges, were 4 times, so like getting home
Yes.
was even more of a problem. So I will probably be in bed. Maybe I'll stay up for the ball drop. I would put it at 50-50 that I'm up for the ball drop.
It's
Did it,
overrated.
we still have the we still have the ball drop named after Dick Clark, 10 years after Dick passed from this vale of tears, right?
The
Hey, that
man,
was a.
yeah.
You go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Dick Clark though was a marvel of science because that guy
Yes,
looked 52 until he died.
yes, he did. He did. I think he had a stroke late in life, but they
He
still were
did.
using him, right?
Yeah,
So
I know. It was sad.
anyway, yeah, I got a hunch that we'll. I was thinking today about the Vikings, and going to a Super Bowl, maybe, and I'm I won't be on Team Star Tribune. I'm an old part timer. But I was thinking the only one I ever covered with these guys was New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and I was .23 every night in New Orleans.
As you should have been at the
I
time.
don't even know if I enjoyed it or not. I can't remember. But I do remember my lowest moment, probably ever as a journalist, when I asked my former boss, Bruce Bennett, if he had a fingernail clippers to take something off my double knit coat. And of course, Bruce's arms ended at his elbows because he
Damn,
was a
yeah.
birth defect. It was the most amazing human being I've ever worked with or watched work because it was from birth that he golfed and he curled, but he did not carry a fingernail clippers. That was confirmed right then.
That's a man whose
That's
judgment has been impaired by days of alcohol consumption.
That's exactly right. Sunday morning going to the game. And I was, because all week we've been hitting it at night, but the next day we had to go do interviews. But on Saturday, there's nothing. So you
Oh,
stay out, you stay out, and it was bad. It was bad. The only one I'd like to cover one where I knew what was going on. It would be better. I did cover a bunch of them that as that the Vikings
right.
weren't in. But anyway,
The eve of the 2000, well, it was 2010 by then, but the eve of the 2009 NFC title game in the same city was a very rough one for a lot of us as well. There's probably no
okay.
worse. There's probably no worse slash better place to cover a big
Oh,
event. New
yes.
Orleans will eat you up, spit you out, and then we'll
Oh,
do it again.
oh, yes. And then you see that area that you've been stumbling around in the daytime,
Oh
and you
God.
say, "My God, the rats are running all over the place." But when you're stumbling around, you don't care. Let's go over and eat donuts at 2 in the morning. What was the name of the place with the powdered donuts? It's
I have no
now
idea.
that I've drank a quart of gin, I think I'll go get a couple of donuts. Over at the powder. You come here and powder donuts all over you, drunk. Let's go cover the Vikings tomorrow. Oh man,
So
yeah, keep me out of there. It's
that game kicked in the 2009 conference championship game. That game kicked at like 5:45 p.m.
is
You
that the
know it's
one the
bad
lights went
when
out?
you're still hungover.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's bad. Now is that the one? That's not the Harbaugh. That's not the Harbaugh Bowl, right? Was
No,
when
no,
the lights
I'm
went out?
talking about the no. This was the Vikings Saints game
Oh, oh,
in the
oh, okay.
conference championship game for the
Playoff game.
2009
Okay.
season, the
Yes.
playoff game. Yeah,
When
yeah.
we
I
got
don't.
when
I
they
didn't
beat
cover the
up
Super Bowl.
Brett, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. So
Okay.
that was a hey. Last thing, are the Twins intent on being forgotten about? Like this is the most remarkable, and Dex
It
can
is.
chime in too. But this is the most remarkable, completely have gone away thing I think I've ever seen.
I don't know. They when they signed Mickey Gasper or whatever his name, you shouldn't even send out a release. Although I just saw a Shaughnessy column because he's given the Red Sox. He always gives them, but he says they are the kings of interest. you know, we're the kings of the phone call. We're gonna make phone call. We're the kings of making phone calls.
Oh yeah,
But you know, it's now we can give the Japanese pitcher more money than anybody, right?
that's right. Yep,
Sasaki. We
yep.
got an incredible. I mean, nobody can give him much money, but I would think if you can only give him $1 million now, and he can go to the Dodgers and play with two guys
Yeah.
who are making two fellow countrymen who are making $1.30 billion, 330
Yeah.
million and seven
All
hundred
deferred.
million.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think Yamamoto they
Yeah,
had to
they
pay,
did.
right? They had to
Yeah.
pay him, but they ended up paying 103 million in tax. Just think if they baseball wasn't so gutless to take a look at Otani. They don't want to take a look at Otani. They don't want to take a look at the fact that we claim this little weenie that worked for him stole 14 million or something. That Shohei never made a bet in his life. Okay, fine, thank you.
Pat, do you think that they're gonna open with Julian or Miranda at first, like opening day first baseman? I know you would, I think, have an aneurysm if you saw Jose Miranda opening day first
Yeah,
baseman.
I think I'd rather see him there though than Eddie.
Yeah,
Generally speaking, he doesn't know whether to cover or not. You know, Jose, he didn't before, but he's he'll more likely to catch it than Eddie, I think. So, I had a great cheap shot in my last column about Fleury playing over there. About he's got a worse glove than his other Quebec, and nobody got on me about my Eddie Julian cheap shot right in the middle of a hockey
They don't.
column.
They don't
Yeah, but
care anymore.
they don't. They don't read
They're
it. They
out.
don't. Yeah, they don't. They don't. You can't even get him. A year ago, we loved Eddie, right? And
Yeah.
then he, then he uprated. Then he upped his third strike taking third strike from 20% to 40%. And we kind of lost faith in him. So
I feel bad for Provis. He's going to be on this new channel thing that's going to be like, there's going to be 5 subscribers.
yes, it's not. It's going to be. Have they announced the method of doing this yet? Have they? Do we know how we're doing it yet?
It's going to be streamed. We don't know the prices
But we
yet.
don't know prices. You don't
We don't
know
know.
where. You
no.
don't know. So
Twins
it's
TV.
going to be a special channel that you buy.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be streamed through Twins
Twin,
TV, and then they're going to work out deals with the cable and satellite to put the channel on for the games
and
only, of which I'm sure they'll make next to nothing.
and they're going to have to give that channel free to YouTube or places like that or what? I don't know.
I don't
I
I
know.
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't
And
know.
they might have an
They
over the air. They might do over the air. They might be select over the air
We
games
still
too.
don't know.
We don't
they
know yet.
should be
We're deciding.
announcing this pretty soon, shouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah. Oh well.
Knock on wood.
Boy, it's I do you get the impression of sales coming? I mean, it would take months to get it finalized,
Right.
even if
I
they
wouldn't be
announced they got
surprised.
even as they announced they got a deal. But they've been so quiet that I
Yeah.
don't know.
If Bloomberg didn't break that story on the Ishbias, I don't think it gets out too.
No, I don't think so either. No,
So it might
but
be, but I mean, this is. I mean, if they're going to do Caravan again, who the hell is going to who's going to schlep their ass out on a 20-degree,
I
below?
wondered, are they going to do one or they just cancel it?
I don't think they'll cancel
And
it.
I don't know. By the way, Ishbia, the other guy, the basketball owner, I was looking it up. He's in salary cap jail, right?
Yep.
He's in the second apron forever, and they're now about 12th in the West. They're dropping like dogs, So maybe he's coming in and just willy nilly spending money. You should know where to spend it. For instance, last year, oh hell, we spent all this money and we forgot to get a point guard. Damn it! Why did we do that?
Yeah.
Here's
It's
the
kind
thing.
of like
I think we forget about them too, and this applies to Rock or maybe even Falvey. They signed when Ishbias bought the team. They signed Frank Vogel to a 4-year deal, and they blew him out after they lost to the Wolves. After 1 year,
that's right. Yeah,
they
that's
blew him
right.
out.
Oh yeah,
That's what the Kings just did.
Falvey hasn't moved into the president's seat yet. He might have a short term. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's really hard to redo a baseball organization in a minute. You can't just you gotta You got to fire 150 people in the baseball department alone, right?
With the way the Twins are built now, yes. The answer is
Yes.
yes. All
Wasn't
right.
so hard when
Yep.
Frank Willis, he had 3 coaches, and
Then it was simpler for Calvin.
Wayne Hadaway was the trainer, physical therapist in Orlando. That was a little different operation back
Yes,
then.
it was.
All right, Patrick.
All right,
Stay
gentlemen.
safe.
Happy New Year. See you
You
later.
too. All right, take care.
All right, Reusse Unchained. Head on over to Purple Daily. We got a State of the Offense episode, also a scoop session with Doogie. Plenty of great stuff still happening. Hope you enjoyed and stay safe on New Year's Eve in 2024. 2025 upon us here at Score North.